Hello everyone, and welcome back to Disneyland. I am in Fantasyland once again, and today I'm going to start showing you how to build my recreation of the Small World ride, which you saw last time. And I have already hit the button to turn off the rides, mainly the carousel over there, and the teacups, and the Dumbo ride, and that should help us so our activity meter is not pegged. And like before, the first thing we want to do is put in our toy box door. We're going to put it right in up here in front of the Small World facade. And I've also placed a locator, and you can see that's about 2 blocks, 2 cubes out away from the door. And you can see which way that's oriented. And while we're here, we'll set the properties on this. This is going to be number 4. And we'll set the properties on the door, the destination. We're going to create a new toy box, an empty toy box. And I'm going to call this one Small World. And I'm typing it in on my Wii U screen here. You could put in It's a Small World if you want, but I think Small World is fine. And we'll save. This is now our 9th toy box in this save file. So we're almost to our maximum. We can only have 10 in one save file. So we have one more ride we can do after this. This you're going to leave to none because there is no destination tag in the next toy box. And that will leave set the way it is. And there we go. We are all set up for this toy box. So at this point, I'm going to save my toy box, and then I'm going to go through that toy box door, and I'll meet you on the other side in just a moment. And here we are in our toy box. All I've done so far is place my Danville Sky Power Disc on the Disney Infinity base, which gives us the outdoor sky for this toy box. And I placed a couple of terrain pieces over there just to save a little time. I also placed this boom box in order to turn off the music. And we're going to need this boombox later anyway when we get to the logic, because that's going to allow us to set the Small World music in spite of having this sky. Now to build this toy box, you're going to need the 2 power discs shown here. The Small World power disc, which is on the left, gives you the terrain theme and 9 special building pieces that you get from the customizable plant clusters. The Skies of the World power disc, which is on the right, gives you the Sky Dome for the ride and the Small World music. And if you want to build the Small World ride, there really is no substitute for these power discs. You need what these discs give you. If you do not have these power discs, and for some reason you aren't able to purchase them off eBay or from some other place, then you're just going to have to do the best you can with whatever building pieces you do have. I really can't give you any recommendations for alternatives. Now before we start building, let's talk about the layout for this toy box. Unlike Pirates of the Caribbean and Peter Pan's Flight, I wanted to duplicate this ride as closely and as accurately as possible. I did not want to try to turn it into some kind of adventure, because that's not what this ride is about. The Small World ride is about taking a little tour around the world, looking at all the different countries and cultures, seeing how much we're alike, and discovering that it really is a small world after all. So let's take a look at some photographs of the actual ride at Disneyland. This is the front of the building that houses the ride, and this is what you see when you approach it. There's a planter in front with the Small World plaque, and that planter actually hides the loading area, which is beyond. To the right of this planter is the entrance. And the entrance turns right and goes down a long ramp that winds around the perimeter of the ride, like you see here, and that leads to a bridge that crosses the canal. The bridge leads down to the loading area where you board the canal boat. Here's another view of the loading area from the exit side. There's kind of a little island in the middle, and the canal splits and goes on either side of this island to make boarding go faster. Since we only have a maximum of 2 players in the toy box, we really don't need this long entrance ramp or the 2 canals with the island in the middle. So I decided to simplify this in my toy box layout to save memory and to make the boarding process as fast as possible for the players. Now once you're on the boat, it follows the canal, which takes a 180-degree turn under the entrance bridge and along the front of the building to a tunnel under the clock that leads inside. Here's a map of the interior of the building. The boat enters in the bottom right, where you see Europe and Scandinavia, and it winds its way around across the top of the map, down the left side, and out the bottom left. That takes you to a tunnel under the opposite side of the clock and along the front of the building, where the canal takes another 180-degree turn and leads you back to the loading area. Now as you come around that final turn, you can see the Small World toy store ahead of you. You then pass under that bridge and you're back in the loading area, where you disembark and leave by taking the bridge on the left. And that takes you right into the toy store. Here's another shot of that. It's a pretty unique looking building, and we'll look closer at all of these things later as we get into those specific parts of the build. Now if you look at the official Disneyland park map, here's the actual layout you're seeing in all of these photographs, and this will help us out as we build this. One thing you'll notice from this map is that the train tracks run right in front of the building. And I'm actually going to leave those out. I think the toy box looks better without those tracks, and we don't need them anyway because we don't have a train. So the first thing I want to do with the build is to lay out the terrain and frame in the ride. So as we get started, actually before we do that, we're going to need 2 power discs. I'm going to put down the Small World terrain power disc on the base. Let me take Danville off and put that down. I do not want to switch my entire world to that theme. And we're also going to need Rapunzel's Kingdom for the grass. This is the same power disc we used in Fantasyland for the grass there. Alright. So we're going to use this starting block here as the entrance block for our ride. And I'm going to set the theme on this to match what's in the park, which is the toy box terrain. And I will, let's go ahead and set that to be our theme. Okay. And now for the orientation of the toy box, we're coming from the park. Alright, so this is kind of off to the side. And if you look around, the roller coaster rides are in the back. So we start off facing this direction, and that's the direction I want to build. So our starting pad is facing the right way. So off of this corner, we're going to put down this small thin terrain block, just like you see there. That's going to be the foundation for the toy store, the floor of the toy store. And then we'll place another block here, and we're going to change our theme now to be Rapunzel's Kingdom. And let's see, that's the Small World theme. Here we go, Rapunzel's Kingdom. I'll set that to be my theme. This is what we're going to use for all of the outdoor grassy areas. And then we're going to put 3 blocks on that side for grass and 4 blocks along this side. Okay, so there's the entrance. Again, we're building in that direction. Now we'll come over to this river piece that I put down earlier, and let's style this to be Rapunzel's Kingdom. And we'll pick this up, and again this is out of the terrain drawer, so you can see where that comes in. We're going to put this right down here, turned that way, and then we're going to drop it down 1 nudge. Okay, actually let's line it up with this block, like that. Actually no, sorry, just need 4 of these. And we'll flip these around just so this isn't quite so repetitive, so we should do that with this one as well. And let's pick this one back up. This should have been the turn. And we need one on either side. Alright, and then we will put in a river piece on either end, followed by the turn. This is what's going to take us in front of the building. And we can flip that around. And then this is going to take us out of the building, and this side takes us in. All right. And then we're going to place one more here, and we'll stop at that point. All right. I'm just going to pick this piece up next and put it back. And we're going to go over two to the left, and let's fill in the gaps here. Like that. And yeah, we'll come back to the grassy part later. Let's kind of see how things go. Okay, so for this piece, we're going to change the theme now to the small world theme, and I'll set that to be my theme. All right. And oops, let's pick this up and put it back. That'll get us back to that part of the drawer. And now we're going to basically put in the ride. This is the path through the ride. 1, 2, yep. And then a turn, and then a straightaway, and another turn. And then we're going to put a straightaway across, and we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these pieces. And I'm flipping it around because you can see each side of the canal is a little different. One side's kind of flatter than the other. So this mixes it up a little bit. All right, I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I actually did 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the turn comes next. All right, and then flat section, our turn, another flat, and some more turns. And then we just connect that up like that. And then once again, we'll pick this block up and put it back. And we'll come fill in the gaps. And we're also going to put some of these along here so we have some floor underneath our displays. And there we go. So that is the basic layout for our toy box. Okay, let's change the theme back to Rapunzel now, because we are done with Small World theme for today. And I want to frame in the terrain for the gardens around the ride. And we're going to do that by picking this piece up, putting it down, and going with the next size smaller. And since the area is sunken here, we need to build kind of a little area around this. So what we're going to do, we're going to line this up with the corner back here like this. And we're going to go 2 nudges out, which puts it 1 terrain cube off the corner of that, like you see there. And then we're going to run a row of these down the side. And we're going to need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. And then the 7th is going to sit back 2 nudges like that. Okay? And again, if you do that right, that's 1 terrain cube off the end and 2 off of this end. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So come all the way down go here. We need 6 of these total. 4, 5, 6. For the 7th one, we're going to come out like that. And we can throw another one back there like that, like we did on the other side. Okay. Now, if we come back over here, we're going to add another level now. And this is going to sit like this. So 2 nudges, oops, back from the edge. So 1, 2, or 1 terrain cube to the right. And again, we need to run a row of these down like that. And we're going to put in 1, 2 more. Sorry. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. So this sits on here like this. 2 nudges to the right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. Then we go to the next size larger. And this is going to sit, let's see. Actually, that needs to sit here, I believe. Yeah. Take that one back out. We're going to put 2 of those like that. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So yeah, take this one back out. Sorry about that. That one sits like that. And another one there like that. And now this one is going to sit in here. We're going to move it to the right 2 nudges like that. And put 2 of them. One on top of the other. Okay, that's looking pretty good. All right, let's come over to this other piece that I had dropped down earlier. I'll pick that up. You can see where that is, what piece it is, and where you find it in the terrain drawer. We're going to come over and put this right here like that. And let's change the theme on this to Rapunzel's theme. All right, sorry for the little delay there. I was looking at my screen grab. Okay, so we're going to put another one there. And the small one will sit right in there. Again, we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Like that. Okay. And then this piece is going to sit in here like this. We'll put one on either side. And then we'll pick this piece up, put it down, drop the block below it, and fill in the gap. And there's a gap underneath here, but don't worry about that. We're going to cover that up. Okay, in this corner, let me see, hold on a second. Yeah, we need 2 of these actually. So like that. Another one on the other side. All right, now we'll pick this piece up and put it down. And I want to use the terrain cube. We're going to put a little square of 4 of these in here. And do the same thing on the other side. Okay. And then we'll grab our ramp again. We're going to place this here like that. And then we're going to go up to Building Sets Group 4. Go to the right, and I'm looking for the bridge. And this is going to sit in here just like that. Okay, and then back down to the ramps. We'll place the small ramp in here, our wider ramp here, another small one, the wide one down here, and then we'll place the other bridge. Like that. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. That's framing that in nicely. All right, back down to the terrain drawer, and we're going to need this piece actually. I think it'd be quicker to pick it up, put it down, because the bridge kind of ends up in the middle of the air over here. So we're going to put down a little platform to cross over on. And we'll go up and grab, under Building Sets Group 4, the cobblestone stairs. Kind of center it on that block. Like that. And then we'll go down to the Basic Blocks drawer. And for the cobblestone for the loading area, we're going to use this large floor. And we're going to change the theme on this to be the executive theme. I'll set that to be my theme. Put one down on the other side. And then you're going to put down 2 of these on either side. And then the large. And let me make sure I get this correct. If I can find my screen grab for this. Here we go. All right, so we want to center this like that. So the bottom edge of that is right with the middle of those 2 blocks there. And then we'll place another one here and another one there. So there's the floor for the loading area. That also tells us where we're going to place the beginning of our building structure. All right, this is looking pretty good. How are we doing on time? Yeah, not too bad. Let's add in just a couple more details and then we'll finish this up for today. All right, so if we come over, let's start over on this side. And we're going to go back to the right in the blocks drawer to this long block here. We're going to place the first one down here, and let's change the theme. We're going to use the Sleeping Beauty bushes. So let's see. That would be flower bed? No, can't be. Because I want this to match the Sleeping Beauty trees. So yeah, I'll set that to be my theme. Alright, so we'll pick that up, put it back. We're going to run a row of these right along the front of this. And we'll put in 2 small ones here, because that's not going to be as visible as this block is. So I'd rather see that. Okay. And now that's starting to look pretty good. Well, we still have a ways to go, but I think that's a good stopping point for today. Next time, we'll build the front of the Small World building with the clock tower and all of the rest. Until then, I want to thank you for watching. Before you go, please hit the like button and leave a comment to let me know what you think of my layout for this ride. I'd also love to know if you're building this along with me, or if you plan to build this. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, and you love Disney Infinity, just click my photo in the lower right corner of this video, and make sure your notifications are on, and then you'll be able to follow my progress, not only on this toy box, but also my future toy boxes. That's all for me today. See you next time.